Alexandra Limon, 6 News.
Well, Nick Mantis is in for Audrey tonight with a look at sports. And Nick, it has been a really tough day for the Michigan State basketball community as they mourn a loss of a big star.
Yeah, Sherry, you said it perfectly. And as you mentioned earlier, the news of the shooting of former MSU forward Adrian Payne has shocked the Spartans basketball community. We're going to update you on what we know and get a reaction from head coach Tom Izzo. Plus, the Spartan family welcomed back one of its own as MSU hockey introduced its new head coach. We're going to hear from him on taking over the Spartans program right after the break.
This is 6 News Now, here for you 24 hours a day, online at WLNS.com.
An employee of Jackson, Lumen Christi, has now been charged with multiple counts of both criminal sexual conduct involving a minor and selling alcohol to a minor. His name, Ryan Cloak, and he was arrested yesterday. We still don't know all the details, but we do know that all the charges involve minors. It's important to point out that none of the minors in this case were students of Lumen Christi. We spoke with the president of the school, Tim DeWitt, who says effective yesterday, Cloak was fired and he is no longer on the school's website under the staff page. 6 News reporter Sarah Al-Sheikh is here for you now with a closer look on the alleged allegations.
2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and 3 counts of selling, furnishing alcohol, both involving minors. Those are the charges against Ryan Cloak, a former employee of Jackson Lumen Christi schools. Yesterday, Cloak was arrested on those charges, and today he was fired from his job. School officials say he worked at Lumen Christi for about 3 years, managing housekeeping and maintenance. 6 News spoke with the president of Lumen Christi, Tim DeWitt, who says he's not comfortable going on camera yet, but he did disclose that these charges do not involve students from the school and that this isn't the first time they've been made aware of the allegations against Cloak. Last July, they were told about a personal protection order against him as well as a criminal investigation. The school suspended him at the time. However, DeWitt says when the personal protection order was set aside in September, the school felt, quote, comfortable to allow him back to work. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office informed the district about Cloak's arrest last night, and the school's president says in light of these charges and arrest, they fired Cloak immediately.
Introducing our new redesigned 6 News mobile app. Our new app features a sleek modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video, and a red light alert badge notifies you when we're streaming. Download or update our This is the 6 Sports Desk.
Well, hug your loved ones just a little bit tighter tonight because we never know what we're going to be saying our last goodbye. The Michigan State basketball community knows that all too well tonight as the Spartans are mourning the loss of former MSU forward Adrian Payne, who was killed this morning in a shooting in Orlando. He was only 31 years old. During his playing days at MSU from 2010 to 2014, Payne was a dominant force to be reckoned with in East Lansing, and in his senior year, he averaged 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. He was an all Big Ten second-team selection and then scored 41 points, which is the most NCAA tournament points by a Spartan in program history. Tom Izzo attended the introductory press conference of MSU hockey's new head coach, Adam Nightingale. Izzo did not take the podium or meet with the media, but he did release this statement shortly after, saying, quote, "I am in shock at the tragic news of Adrian Payne's death. Our prayers are with his family, teammates, and loved ones," end quote. Izzo went on to say that today is a difficult and sad day for the Spartan basketball family, and he's heard from several former players who praised Payne's ability to work with Spartan players even after graduating from MSU. Some of those former players like Miles Bridges and teammates of Payne's like Gary Harris and Denzel Valentine shared on Twitter their condolences after hearing the news. Magic Johnson even shared that he and his wife Cookie are heartbroken. Then Draymond Green, who played with Payne for 2 years at MSU, shared a tweet with broken hearts. Draymond's head coach Steve Kerr started his afternoon press conference with some words on the passing of Adrian Payne.
I want to offer condolences to Adrian Payne and his family, Michigan State family, Tom Izzo. We heard the news this morning, and Draymond is just crushed. Adrian and Draymond were teammates and best of friends, and just devastating news today. So our condolences to the family, and we're thinking about them today, just feeling a lot of grief with everybody involved. And Draymond especially is feeling that way. And so wanted to share that before we start.
Steve Kerr unfortunately tested positive for COVID-19 later in the day, so he's not coaching tonight's Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. But Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors are only down 3 points at halftime. We'll make sure to keep you updated on the ending of this game. And the other NBA playoff game tonight, Grand Ledge alum Al Horford set a new playoff career high with 30 points for the Boston Celtics in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Horford's huge performance helped the Celtics go on to win Game 4 116-108, tying the series up at 2 games apiece. Back here in mid-Michigan, as you saw earlier in the show, there was a special ceremony at the Breslin Center at the Izzo Hall of Fame, Hall of History, to officially introduce Adam Nightingale as the 8th head coach of Michigan State's hockey program. Nightingale was joined by his wife Kristen and his 3 children, Trevor, Emerson, and Keaton. Also in attendance was former Spartan national champion and Detroit Red Wing Justin Abdelgator and MSU basketball coach Tom Izzo. Athletic director Alan Haller asked the current players what they wanted in a new head coach, which ultimately led to Nightingale's hiring. So what exactly did the players ask for?
Someone who develops personal relationships, a newer style of play, puck possession, faster transitions, an aggressive attacking offense, and most importantly, skill development. I'll be honest, I didn't know any of those terms before this search.
I'm super excited. I mean, myself and the boys, we've heard nothing but good things about Adam, and I can't wait to get work, honestly.
You just really see, his passion and for me, I think, his connection with his players. You want a coach that, he has your best interest, and I think Adam has that.
Well, speaking of some Spartans, the Michigan State women's golf team is currently in 5th place after the first round of the NCAA tournament regionals. The Spartan women shot a 15 over par 303 in today's first round at the Karsten Creek Golf Club in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The regionals will continue on Tuesday, and then the final round will be on Wednesday. And being in 5th place is a good spot to be in because after Wednesday's final round, the top 4 teams qualify for the championships. And in Michigan State baseball, this video is as ugly as the ending of the series finale against Penn State as Ryan Shapaniak walked a Penn State batter with the bases loaded in a tie game in the bottom of the 11th as the Nittany Lions would go on to win it 10-9 with a walk-off walk and sweeping the Spartans in the weekend series. We'll be right back with a final look at your forecast, so stay with us.
This is 6 News Now, here for you 24 hours a day, online at WLNS.com.